Welcome to the Selling Show, where we unpack, repack, and break down exactly how CEOs, founders, and senior executives sell their ideas, point of view, and personal brand to the people who matter most. This is your host, David Newman, and you are in the right place if you want to build market eminence, amplify your influence, and attract high-value prospects, investors, partners, talent, and media opportunities with less chasing and more confidence. Let's go. You should write a book. You should absolutely write a book. Wait a minute. Writing a book, that's not the hard part. Marketing the book is the hard part. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Luckily, we have the amazing Susan Friedmann from Aviva Publishing here. Susan, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's so good to be here with you, David. We're turning the tables because you were a guest on my podcast a few weeks ago. So yes. Thank you for having me here.
We are flipping the script right now. So for people that don't know, share a little bit about your professional journey that brought you to the work that you're doing today, and we'll use that as the springboard for our chat.
Excellent. So background, yes. It's like, how far do you want to go back?
I started out a small child.
I started off a small child. I was born in London, so that hence the accent.
Yeah.
I was laid off 3 times before I decided that I was going to start my own business. I think somebody up there had a different plan for me. So it took 3 times before I got the message. Any event, so I started off in the trade show industry, doing training for exhibitors. That was a real niche market, David. Yeah. And it was...
And you went, I'm right that you went by the trade show coach.
I did. Thank you. You remember. Wow, we go back a long time.
We certainly do.
So 25 years in the trade show industry. However, when I started out, I was introduced to National Speakers Association. And so when I went there, I asked the wise people of NSA, what should I do to get noticed?
Yeah.
And guess what? I was told to write a book. That was so far from what I'd ever thought of doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, write a book. And in fact, I was told to self-publish. At that time, self-publishing was, whoa, I don't think many people had heard of that. And so I was like, well, let me look for a publisher. So it took several rejections before I found a publisher who, my style is very much, and similar, I think, to yours. It's tips and techniques, very condensed, the bullet points.
Yeah.
Let me just give you the stuff,
Totally.
And so I wrote Exhibiting at Trade Shows, Tips and Techniques for Success.
Yeah.
David, it was never a bestseller. However, I sold 500,000 copies of that book to one company. We can go down that avenue if you'd like.
Oh, we're totally going down that avenue.
Well, after 25 years, I lost my passion for the trade show industry. However, I forget to mention that Aviva Publishing actually started when I started my business, but it was to publish my own work because it took so long and so hard to find a publisher that, in fact, I started my own publishing business. Yes. And I never thought that I would be publishing for somebody else. It was just,
funny.
Okay, I was publishing Susan's books. Then I lost my passion for the trade show industry and decided that Aviva Publishing would be what I really focused on.
Yeah.
Got referred by writing coaches, and marketing is my background, marketing and PR.
Yeah.
So I just sort of the authors don't know what to do with a book once they published it.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
And so I felt there was, a place in the market for me to really, hone in, look at niche marketing with that, and also bulk book sales. How can we,
Yes.
generate that?
Oh my goodness, what a great interview this is. Hey, you like great things. Have you grabbed a copy of my new book and all the companion tools, trainings, and bonuses at marketeminence.com? Pop over there right now, grab it. It's almost as great as this episode. Well, let's jump right to the good stuff. Let's eat dessert first.
Yes.
How did you sell 500,000 copies of a book to one client, one company? How did that work? What was the backstory and the detail?
So the backstory was that I was looking for, I told you I was in the trade show industry.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to find and develop relationships with companies that had the same target audience as me, and that was trade show exhibitors, but we weren't competitors. Rather, we complemented each other.
Yeah.
So there are several companies that fit that, but the main one and the one where there's money is trade show exhibits. They build the exhibits, custom exhibits, and portable exhibits. So I started off with a custom exhibit house, and they bought 2,000. And I was like, okay, that's really nice.
And the reason they bought those is that they wanted to give it to their clients, their prospects, use it in their marketing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's, you hit the nail on the head. And thank you for, I missed that little point there.
Yeah.
And so then I decided to look at the portable exhibit house and found a company very interested in using my book as a lead magnet, although it wasn't called a lead magnet at that time. They had distributors all over the world. And this book was a great, they gave it to their distributors to give to when they were demonstrating the product. So it was a way to entice people to get a demonstration. They used my book as a lead magnet. They sent out postcards with the book. And they bought 250,000, translated into 5 languages, and then decided it was going so well, they ordered another 250,000. So that's the story.
That is amazing. Now, again, getting into the logistics here, just because I'm fascinated by this, did you have to find and pay for the translations, or they found and paid for
everything?
They did everything.
They did everything, yes. And they had a cover designed that was, for them, had their logo and everything on there. And so it was their book, but it was written by me.
So did you literally have printed and shipped 500,000 books, or was it more like a licensing deal that you say, I'm licensing you to print and manufacture 500,000 books through your vendor relationships, and you do all the printing and shipping and whatever?
So it started off with Chris Publications, and they did the first 250,000. And then the company decided that, they were able to take the material and create their own, and had it printed by their own means. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's take this back to the average mortal listening to us right now. They perhaps they have a manuscript, maybe they have a finished book, and they are totally clueless and hopeless and lost when it comes to marketing this book. Give us the book marketing 101 for 2026. What are people doing right? What are people doing wrong? And what do you recommend?
So when authors come to me, I ask them 2 questions. One is, who's this book for? Really, really important question, because the answer that I get most often is, this book is for everyone. I know. It just makes me, I have to take a second breath and try and tell them, no, this book isn't, it might be for everyone, but you can't sell it to everyone.
Yeah.
Not even Procter and Gamble and the giants in the all industries try and sell to everyone. They have their niche markets. They have their target audiences.
Yeah.
So that's the first, hurdle. And the second one is, what do you want the book to do for you? Because if it's just about selling copies of the book, you're not going to get rich on that unless you're a celebrity.
Right.
So you've got to look at where can you make money.
Yeah.
And as you know, speaking, training, coaching, programs, those are the ways in which you can take the material from the book and make money from that.
Yeah.
And the book gives you credibility and gives you authority in the field.
Yes.
Really what you're looking for, thought leadership, and bringing out that thought leadership in a market that needs what you have to offer.
Yes. Now, we talked earlier before turning on the microphones that people don't like the term book marketing. It's like, oh, no one likes marketing. It's like, oh, doesn't the book just market itself? Like, it's on Amazon. Amazon's one of the top 10 websites in the universe. If my book is on Amazon, the people will come. The sales will happen. It'll be magical. Completely not true. What are some ways that once you have book in hand, goes way beyond put the book on your website. It goes way beyond put the book in your email signature file. Book marketing to proactively and smartly put this book out into the universe so that it gets the attention and builds the authority that you deserve. What are some baby steps that would get people going in the right direction and perhaps shake them out of complacency?
And I love that. I'm going to take you back just a little bit. And that is the difference between marketing and sales. And that is something, unfortunately, most authors don't understand. When we talk about book marketing, they think it's selling the book. Whereas, the marketing is just building the interest in the book, and then that leads to selling the book. However, they are two separate universes.
Yeah.
Two separate worlds. However, there's a bridge to connect the two.
Yes.
So the marketing is building that awareness, and you build that awareness through social media, podcasting. That's the number one way in which authors get visibility in the marketplace is really through podcasting, through writing articles, blogs, placing that in different environments.
And so not just your blog, but industry blogs, association
Absolutely.
blogs. Okay.
Yeah. Who's reading? It's harder to bring people to your blog. However, you go to other people's audiences and you furnish material for them.
Yes.
I mean, when I started out writing for every single publication in the trade show industry.
Yes. Amen.
And I didn't only have an article, I wanted a feature.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in that magazine every time that magazine came out, whether it was monthly, quarterly, annually, I didn't care. I just wanted to be there on a regular basis. And that's, you're building awareness. And that awareness, also couples with the authority because you're the author of the book.
Yeah.
And speaking, training, those are the number one. Yeah.
So let's talk about, because you mentioned this in passing, and I want people to really anchor in on this. The bulk book sales, you said find other vendors, other companies, other entities that are in your ecosystem but they don't compete directly with you.
Correct.
And I also think the other reconceptualization that's necessary for bulk book sales is these companies, they're not buying a book. They're either buying a marketing tool for their company, they're buying a loyalty tool, they're buying a lead generation tool, they're buying something that will either establish more goodwill that they already have, or perhaps they're looking to improve their image or to fix a problem by, going above and beyond and wanting to stand out more in their industry as, hey, we're not just a vendor of this software or this, whatever it is that we sell. We're also committed to your success. So we're going to gift a copy of Susan's book to every franchisee, every dealer, every distributor, every agent, every franchisee, etc. So I guess we're thinking in triangles. Is that right, Susan? There's the author on one side of the triangle. There's the sponsor or the bulk book buyer on the second side of the triangle. And it's the people that bulk book buyer wants to impress or persuade or sell to or market to on the third end of the triangle. So what are some ideas with your clients? What have been some successful triangles? Like what industries, what relationship did the author have with the bulk book buyer that would spark people's imagination?
Yeah. So one author I'm thinking of in particular wrote a book on selling, actually, but his market was small printers. So he was helping small printers where, they're up against so many competitors and how can they stand out from the crowd? And so he went in with the book, sold the book to them, and did the training programs to help them. Yeah. So again, it covered a couple of different elements here, but it's a tool. It was helping them be successful. It was helping them with that transformation. Another author wrote a book that was it was called A to Z of Health Literacy, and it was aimed at nurses. And what the author was doing there was going actually into nursing schools, and this book was actually turned out to be a textbook or it could have been a recommended reading for that, for the courses, because helping nurses, talk in real language so that they can communicate with patients and then with a family of patients. So there are markets out there, but it's knowing who your target audience is. Yes. And so often, actually, when I help authors find that niche market, because often they really don't know what it is. But looking at their background, even though their background, they don't want to go back into that background, they've got credibility. They know and understand. If your background was finance, I've worked with several authors who have written about investments. Oh, yes. And so, yes, who's interested in that? So you're looking for those target audiences that, as I said, that complement what you're doing. You've both got the same target audience. Yeah. And then your book, as you said, can be a giveaway. It can be a training opportunity. So many online courses, train the trainer. We've umpteen.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. So this reminds me, do you know our friend Bill Cates, who came out of the publishing business way long ago. Yes. And one of his success stories with bulk book sales is he had this slow cooker recipe book. And he was selling them. I think he didn't write it, but one of his clients wrote it and he ran the publishing company. So he's selling these onesies. And finally, Crock-Pot is about to come out with their big new Crock-Pot model. And Bill calls him up. He says, hey, I have a slow cooker recipe book. This could easily be the Crock-Pot branded slow cooker recipe book. Would you be interested in this? And I think he sold something like 500,000 copies to Crock-Pot as well. And now it became the pack-in little booklet that shipped out with every single Crock-Pot that came across the manufacturing line. And he's like, I don't even like crock-pot cooking, but I had the book, and the book solved a problem,
Exactly.
right? Because people buy the crock-pot and they're like, well, what am I going to cook in this thing, right? So think about, how does your book solve a problem
Exactly.
for that possible bulk book purchaser, and all kinds of creative solutions start to pop into your mind.
Well, and that's exactly what happened with my book. It was solving a problem for the display company,
Yes,
because their exhibitors were not doing well. So rather than not do trade shows, they wanted to encourage them to do more shows.
sure.
So the book helped to train them, and I was brought in to do training programs as
Yes.
well. And I love manufacturers of products. I had a gentleman who actually wrote a book, Fishing with Grandpa. And I said, well, why don't we go to, the companies that sell fishing equipment for children? I mean, there are companies that make fishing rods for children.
Yeah.
Now, this was so far from the way he was thinking about it.
Sure.
And so I look to find these little avenues that authors just don't think about when it comes to their book. I mean, Helen's book, when she wrote the health literacy, she didn't think that it would be a textbook.
Yeah.
She didn't think that she would be talking and actually doing programs for nursing, for the nurses. So, you just never know where the opportunities might lie, but it's looking at those niches, the verticals, that I feel that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Everybody. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if your book is a bestseller or not.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So would you say that authors in 2026, if they're just committed to the retail channel, bookstores, Amazon, selling B2C, would you say that they're pretty much missing the boat on the potential that their book could have and the potential impact their book could have?
Without any doubt. Yeah, because selling books in onesies and twosies is for the birds.
Yeah.
You can it takes as much effort to sell 10 books to one person than it does to sell 10 books to one. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes. Well, and even, this whole concept of, hey, buy 10 books and I'll give you a free 30-minute coaching call. Couldn't you take that same campaign and sell 10,000 books to a company?
That's exactly. But you've got to know and build the relationships.
Yeah.
It's not that you're just going to walk in and someone's going to say, hey, David, I'm going to buy, 200,000 copies of your Market Eminence.
Right.
As much as you would like them to do that.
Sure.
So you've got to look and build those relationships. That 500,000 didn't come overnight.
Yeah.
I built the relationship over time with this company.
And did you start out by offering to write articles for their people, their internal newsletter, their, corporate communications or marketing department?
I did. However, I think the first step was actually they wanted me to do training for their own people.
Oh, interesting.
So I started with their distributors, and then they decided that this would be good for, their clients. Okay,
right.
So let's work with their clients, and then realizing the book might be a great lead magnet, a way to attract people in. And of course, the clients then hired me to do training as well, because I sort of had that, not only had I written the book, but I had the stamp of approval from this company that they were buying their boots from.
Yes. So I'm going to ask us a couple final questions here as we're landing the plane. The economic buyer inside of the bulk book purchasing entity, the company, the group, whatever, is it usually the VP of sales? Is it the VP of marketing? Who's on our hit list to start building relationships with?
It could be either. It could be HR.
Really?
Yeah. Again, if you're selling it as part of a training might go back to HR. So yes, but often it is the sales and marketing departments that are interested in that. Now, there's another opportunity, and that is that your book could be a giveaway at a trade show. And then you might talk to people in meetings and events.
Yes.
Or there are also PR, either agencies or PR departments within companies. And again, it could be, giving it away might be PR. Could be advertising.
Wait. We're not just going to listen to this episode. There are downloads, there are resources, there are links, there are bonuses waiting for you on this episode's page when you go over to doitmarketing.com/podcast. That's right, doitmarketing.com/podcast. Grab the notes right under this episode. See you over there. So, if folks were to take one overarching idea from our conversation about these way smarter, think bigger, do bigger, sell bigger ideas about marketing their book in 2026, what would you like that one core takeaway to be? What should people really remember from our conversation?
I think they should remember, first of all, that they need to go and find the right people for their book. And that is within a vertical market, within a niche market. And realizing that the book is going to build authority, but the authority is going to bring in the income.
Yeah.
So you've got that transition, and it all starts with, what can you use your book for? The book can be the hub of the wheel, and then all the different activities to generate, opportunities for them. And forget following the crowd. The crowd,
the crowd's lost. The crowd's clueless.
Lost. And they're like lemmings. Oh, so-and-so sold a bunch of books doing this. And
yes. Yeah.
Forget that.
And stop schlepping books to events and setting up your cute little table.
No, they should be sold in advance. If you are going to do a speech, no back of the room sales.
Everyone has a book waiting for them in their bag or on their seat.
Absolutely. Everybody should have a copy of that book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Susan Friedmann, this has been so fantastic. I know folks are going to want to get connected and stay connected to more of your brilliance. Where can they go? What links should go into the show notes?
Okay, so a couple of opportunities, and thank you for that, David. One is that I've got a nice little giveaway, lead magnet, 50 lazy book marketing ideas.
For all the lazy book marketers like me.
Yeah, that's okay. We can give you lots of ideas. And secondly, if they would like a 20-minute book marketing brainstorm session with me, we can get a lot done in 20 minutes, helping them think differently about how to market their book.
Brilliant. Absolutely. So all of those links will be directly under this episode at thesellingshow.com. Please take Susan up on the 50 lazy book marketing ideas, each of which is brilliant. And then do take advantage of the call I'm guessing that there's not a whole bunch of sales pressure and you're not putting people in a headlock and forcing them to hire you for your brilliance. But
Absolutely not. Absolutely
if that
not.
happens to be the outcome, I will tell you that they will be well served and they will thank me for hosting you on this episode. So thank you, Susan Friedmann. You're a rock star and I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too, David.
And that wraps up another episode of The Selling Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, tell a friend, go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thesellingshow.com. See you next time.